5 ways in which trauma changed you. Sometimes a person doesn't even realize how broken they are until a small moment exposes everything they've been carrying. It can be something as ordinary as someone raising their voice slightly or standing too close, and suddenly the past returns like a shadow that still knows your name. You tell yourself you've moved on, but your body reacts before your mind can explain it, as if it remembers every wound more clearly than you do. So today, we're going to talk about the quiet, subtle ways trauma has changed you, even the parts you thought no one could see. 1. Feeling shameful or guilty. Trauma has a way of convincing you that you caused the very pain you suffered. It whispers the kind of lies that settle deep into your bones. If you had been stronger, if you had spoken up, if you had left earlier, if you had done more. These thoughts repeat themselves until guilt becomes a daily background noise. But guilt born from trauma is not logical. It's inherited. It's the leftover smoke from a fire someone else started. Your mind tries to make sense of chaos by blaming the only person it can control, you. I remember a moment where this internal blame became painfully clear. I had apologized 3 times, yes, 3, for something that wasn't remotely my fault. I still remember the warmth of the room, the faint smell of coffee, the soft hum of a ceiling fan. The person I was speaking to literally blinked at me with confusion, tilting their head slightly like they were trying to figure out if I was joking. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't apologizing for the situation. I was apologizing for existing in it. Trauma teaches you to shrink yourself so no one gets upset, to walk carefully in every conversation, like you're stepping barefoot across broken pieces of your past. You say sorry because you're terrified of conflict. You say sorry because you were trained to believe your needs are an inconvenience. You say sorry because someone else once taught you that their comfort was more important than your dignity. But here's what's true. You don't owe the world an apology for surviving something that tried to break you. Healing begins the moment you stop taking responsibility for someone else's cruelty. The moment you allow yourself to feel anger without drowning in guilt. The moment you realize you were never the problem. The situation was. 2. Feeling distant from other people. Trauma often creates distance not by choice, but by necessity. You learn early that closeness can be dangerous, that letting someone see your soft spots might give them the same power someone once misused. So you create an emotional buffer, a quiet, invisible distance that even the people closest to you can sense. It's not that you don't want connection, it's that connection feels like opening a door you're afraid someone might slam on your fingers. There was a moment, one of those painfully honest ones, where I realized how disconnected I'd become. Someone touched my shoulder lightly, warm hand, gentle voice, nothing threatening at all. And my immediate instinct was to tense up so sharply you'd swear someone had thrown ice water down my spine. They noticed. They asked if I was okay, and I lied so casually it scared me. Yeah, I'm fine. But inside, I knew what it really was. My body still didn't trust what my mind said was safe. Trauma teaches you to observe people instead of engage with them. You study their tone, their gestures, their inconsistencies. You stay alert because feeling safe has never actually been safe. Sometimes that distance becomes so normal that closeness feels unnatural. You sit in rooms full of people, yet feel like you're watching life through glass. And the worst part? You're amazing at hiding it. You can laugh, talk, interact, all while keeping a quiet emotional distance no one can penetrate. But here's what's important. That distance isn't coldness. It's protection. It's the body's attempt to prevent repeat harm. And even though it feels isolating, it's also a sign of strength. Your system is still trying to keep you alive. The healing comes in small, slow, gentle moments. When you let someone stand a little closer. When you allow a conversation to go a little deeper. When you tell the truth instead of saying, "I'm fine." Healing is not sudden. It's a slow thaw. 3. Being very jumpy and easily startled. People don't understand how fast a traumatized body reacts. It's not a choice. It's a survival alarm. A door slams unexpectedly, someone walks into the room too quickly, or a voice shifts tone, and suddenly your heart is sprinting before your brain even knows why. You feel your shoulders tense, your stomach tighten, your breath catch. Your nerves behave like a car alarm that goes off when a leaf falls on it. This jumpiness is embarrassing sometimes. You laugh it off, make a joke, pretend you're just sensitive, but deep down, you know it's something your past wired into you. Your body is constantly scanning for danger, even when you're safe. Something inside you remains half awake, half defensive, half expecting a threat that no longer exists. There's a wordless fear behind this startle response. The fear that danger always arrives without warning, that something bad could happen any second. You don't get the luxury of feeling relaxed. You sit facing entrances. You flinch when someone raises their hand too fast. You tighten up when you hear footsteps behind you. Your senses are always tuned in, like you're waiting for something. And the sad truth? You didn't become like this because you're weak. You became like this because at some point in your life, being alert kept you alive emotionally, or literally. But healing is possible. It's slow, but it's possible. You can teach your body that the world isn't collapsing every time a sound echoes. You can teach your breathing to slow down. You can teach your muscles to let go. You can remind your nervous system that it's no longer living in a place where threats were constant. Little by little, you can reclaim calm. 5. Feeling hopeless and helpless. Trauma can strip a person of optimism. It makes you look at the world through a lens of defeat, expecting disappointment before anything even happens. You stop believing in good outcomes because your past taught you to brace for impact. You lose trust in yourself, in people, in hope. You start to think that the life you want is too far away, too unrealistic, too late. Hopelessness isn't always loud. Sometimes it's subtle, like losing excitement, avoiding goals, refusing opportunities, or staying in situations that don't serve you because you don't believe anything better is possible. Trauma convinces you that every door leads to another version of the same pain. And helplessness is its twin, the belief that you can't change anything, that no matter what you do, the past will repeat itself, that you're stuck with the version of yourself that trauma left behind. But that's the lie trauma tells. The truth is this: the very fact that you're aware of these patterns means you're already waking up from them. The moment you question your hopelessness, the moment you resist the urge to give up, the moment you take even a tiny step forward, that's the moment the past loses some of its power. Healing doesn't come from sudden breakthroughs. It comes from tiny acts of courage, showing up, choosing yourself, letting hope return in small waves, trusting that life can feel different from what you've known. You're not helpless, you're hurting. And those two things are not the same. 4. Depression. Depression after trauma isn't regular sadness. It's a heaviness that seeps into everything. It's the exhaustion of carrying memories you never asked for. It's waking up and feeling like your body weighs more than yesterday. It's losing interest in things you used to love because trauma has drained your emotional energy like a leaking pipe. Every day feels like wading through water that's just high enough to slow you down. You think slowly, move slowly, speak slowly. You cling to your bed, not because you're lazy, but because waking up means returning to the world you don't feel connected to. Your mind feels foggy, your motivation disappears, and even basic tasks feel like uphill battles. The worst part? You can't explain it. Depression makes you feel guilty for feeling depressed. You look around at your life. Logically, you know you're safe now, but your mind isn't reacting to the present. It's reacting to the past. Trauma changed your brain chemistry, your emotions, your sense of self. It carved unseen wounds that still ache. You're not weak for feeling like this. You're not dramatic. You're not broken beyond repair. You're human, and humans who have been hurt deeply often go quiet inside long before they show any signs on the outside. Healing from trauma-related depression takes time and effort and an uncomfortable amount of self-honesty. But it does heal, slowly, painfully, beautifully. Conclusion. Trauma changes you quietly, deeply, and in ways most people around you never notice. It rewires how you think, how you react, how you trust, how you show love, how you protect yourself. But the fact that you are here, trying to understand it, already means you're not defined by what happened. You're responding to it, working through it, facing it. There is strength in simply being aware, power in recognizing patterns, healing in naming what hurt you. You don't have to be fully recovered to be worthy of peace. You don't have to be healed to be whole. You are already becoming the version of yourself you needed back then, steady, aware, and slowly reclaiming every part trauma tried to silence.